Salve Maria! We frequently hear the Rosary called a crown of roses, a spiritual bouquet we offer Jesus and His Mother by reciting the Our Father, the Hail Marys, and the Glory Be. And of course it is. Just as the rose is the queen of flowers, this prayer, so simple yet so profound, is the rose of all devotions. Our Lady herself has revealed to several people that with each Hail Mary, they give her a beautiful, and each complete rosary makes her a crown of roses. But there's another reason why our Blessed Mother loves, esteems, and urges us to pray the rosary. It is the most effective tool of spiritual combat. Pope Benedict XVI called it a spiritual weapon for each of us. And Saint Padre Pio, a saint of modern times, says, "Love the Madonna and pray the Rosary, for her Rosary is the weapon against the evils of the world today." To our modern ears, it may sound surprising to hear popes and saints calling the Rosary a weapon. How should we understand this warlike word in relation to this beautiful prayer? Let's take a peek in the dictionary. Here we find weapon defined as anything that serves to outwit or get the better of an opponent. Now, who is the opponent in the spiritual battle? If we go back to the book of Genesis, at the beginning of the human race, we see God drawing the battle lines after the serpent. Satan tempts and seduces Adam and Eve to commit sin. God says to the serpent, "I will put enmities between you and the woman." Enmity, which is to say hostility. It is a fight between two poles, light and darkness, good and evil, the race of the Virgin Mary and the race of Satan, and it will last until the end of time. Would she stand by as time and again the serpent got the upper hand? Would she be the clement, loving, and sweet Virgin Mary if she turned her back as church teachings were challenged or Christian nations were invaded by enemy hordes? She gave us a powerful weapon, the Holy Rosary. Does Our Lady consider the Rosary a weapon? Back in the 13th century, the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church had reached a height of glory and expansion and influence. But as we know, the devil and his cohorts are constantly prowling about. And the Church and all of Christian civilization also found itself under attack by a false doctrine contrary to the magisterium of the Church that sprang up in a place called Albi in southern France. For this, the heresy became known as the Albigensian heresy. At this point, Dominic of Guzman went into a forest and prayed without ceasing for 3 days and 3 nights. A crusade of prayer. To make a fascinating story short, as he wept and prayed, Our Lady appeared to him surrounded by angels and said to him, "Dear Dominic, do you know which weapon the Blessed Trinity wants to use to reform the world? I want you to know that in this kind of warfare, the battering ram has always been the angelic psalter, which is to say, the Rosary." Our Lady calls the Rosary a battering ram. You might have seen a battering ram in a battle scene in a movie. It's a large wooden beam used to beat down the walls or heavy doors of stone fortress. We can think of our repeated Hail Marys like the strokes of a battering ram. As we repeat the Our Father, the Hail Marys, and the Glory Be, while focusing mind and heart on the mysteries of the life, death, and resurrection of our Lord, we tell our Mother that we believe that she can obtain all things from the heart of her Son. I can't help quickly sharing with you a testimony that came to us from a woman in São Paulo, Brazil, a psychologist by profession, who was driving along in the crowded city as she held the rosary that she had received in the mail from the Heralds. Well, she stopped at an intersection. Her normal day turned into a nightmare. A teenager came up to her car window and pointed a revolver at her and told her to hand over everything of value that she had, her watch, her money, her jewelry. What did Our Lady do for this poor woman in emergency? First of all, she gave her the grace to keep calm. Then, she inspired her how to act. I'll read her actual words. She says, "I held up my rosary so he could see it. And I said that I couldn't stop at that moment because I was praying. In my heart, I asked Our Lady to help me. When I said that, the thief looked at me in disbelief, hesitated for a minute, then lowered his gun saying, 'This woman is out of her mind,' and he took off at a run." What a scene! Can you imagine? But that's the power of the rosary. It's stronger than a revolver, that's for sure. Join me tomorrow and keep praying.
If you like this video, press the like button and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos.